Alright, so got some of the stuff that I'm going to need for my Djembe drum. I've got my handy dandy 32, I think that's a 32-ounce cup. I have my 20-ounce cup. Okay, got my acrylic paint, put to the side for now. I have my 1-inch and 2-inch masking tape. 1-inch and 2-inch masking tape. Let's get that out the way so you can see that. Okay. Twine. My marble colored balloon right here. I have my hobby knife. I might use a better hobby knife actually. It don't want to work for me, so I might use this one. Yeah, it's a better hobby knife. And I got my 4 rubber bands. Got my art palette. I'm gonna put that to the side over here with my paint. Need that later. I have my twine. Put that to the side too. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna take this large cup and I'm going to cut the bottom off of this large cup. So let's get this large cup and my hobby knife. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the bottom off of it. So I'm going to go in at about right here, okay, right where the curve kind of meets. I'm gonna push my hobby knife in a little bit, being kind of soft because I don't want to damage the cup too much. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of rotate the cup while I cut. Okay, rocking back and forth just a little bit. I don't need a whole lot of pressure on it. Again, I don't want to break the cup. So I'm just trying to cut the bottom of my cup off. Keeping my thumbs out of the way so I do not cut myself. There we go. I got the bottom of my cup up. I'll retract my hobby knife and okay, that's what I. Alright, so I got my bottom of my cup out. Put that to the side. You can throw that one away. Now I've got my regular 20-ounce cup. Okay, I got from Buc-ee's. And now I'm going to cut the bottom of it off. I can do the same thing and just kind of go around the side right here at the bottom of the cup, or I could just cut right here and go around and cut this off. Cut this off right here. I'm just going to go around the bottom of the cup just like I did the first one, just to kind of be consistent with what I'm doing. I'm going to use that line as a guide. Go around and just cut that bottom piece off. Be very careful because this is a sharp knife. Always remember to retract it after you're finished with it. And throw those pieces away. Now I have my 2 pieces to my cup. So now I'm going to join those together by putting that cup inside of that one, like that there. I got the top of my Djembe drum and the bottom of my Djembe drum. Okay. Alright. Now it's time to start taping it together. So I'm going to start with my smaller tape. Start with my smaller tape, and then I'm going to get now you're gonna notice that this tape doesn't exactly mold to what you want it to do. So you're gonna have to work with it. It's not an exact thing. just want to kind of tear pieces off as you go. Okay, and then kind of mold it to where you want it to be. Okay, use your finger, get down in there so these things will connect. Okay, kind of shape it and form it. And now you want to go over it a couple more times to reinforce it. Tear it off right about there. Piece on the top over here. Solidify that. Feel like I have it kind of solid there. I think that holds up. All right, now what I want to do is I want to cover this entire thing in tape, okay? Cover the entire thing in tape. That's why we have the 2-inch tape right here, okay? If I was trying to cover it with all of this, it might take a nice amount of time. So we're gonna just use the 2-inch tape to kind of fill in a little space. Now, with the 2-inch tape, we're gonna do it long ways. Okay, long ways. You can do it going around and going around and going around if you feel like that's working better for you. I have found that by using the 2-inch tape and my scissors, I've been able to cover a little bit more area by just using straight pieces around the length of the cut. Okay, and my fingers to kind of go in those crevices and put it where it needs to be. I've started at the top and just kind of molding it down. Okay, kind of sculpting it with my fingers, and I can just kind of fold it around that edge. Okay. Just want to kind of get it as flat as I could possibly get it. I don't get any nicks and cranks. Remembering, this styrofoam is not very strong, so you don't want to press too hard on it because you don't want to break it or cause some permanent damage. So I'm just going to keep going around with it. Alright, now I'm going to pour my paint in here, did already, and I am going to start to paint my cup. Okay, I'm going to get one coat on my cup. I'm going to let it dry before I do the rest of it. Okay, this is going to take some time to dry, so just kind of plan for it. Take my brush, take my paint, and just pretty much go over the cup with one coat of paint on top of my tape, okay? Alright, well, I am about finished. It looks like it's all coated. I'm going to put it on some kind of paper or something. All I have now is a extra paper plate. So I'm going to put it on that to dry. But you need to put it on something like a paper towel, paper plate, something like that to dry. Probably give it about an hour. Maybe only 30 minutes. 30 minutes to an hour. This should be dry. We're gonna go ahead and kind of let it dry and then come back and finish it up. All right. All right, next part, we're gonna take our balloon. You wanna stretch it out. Stretch it out so it is pliable. Stretch it out so that you can work with it. You're gonna have to stretch this thing over the top of this cup. So you want it to be as stretchable as possible. Try not to break it, but you want it to be stretchable. So just kind of like, you know, work it out a little bit before you start stretching it. Okay. All right. So after I've stretched it out pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to take this top piece and I'm going to cut that top piece off at the neck. So I'm going to take it, cut it off right about here. Right about there. Okay. Hopefully that gives me enough of an opening. Okay. Gonna take a couple different attempts. Not gonna happen just on the first try. Yep, it's gonna bend your cup. Definitely gonna bend your cup. That's okay, because as it stays on, in my experience, it's going to get a little bit better in the shape department. Alright, so now once you put your top on your cup, try to get it down as much as you possibly can, the rubber part. And try to stretch that rubber part down as much as you can without breaking it. Okay. All right. This is where your rubber bands come in. Okay. So now you want to take your rubber bands and you want to stretch those over your balloon to kind of keep it in place. Okay, I'm gonna do one, and I'm gonna do one more. Alright, next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take these rubber bands and I'm gonna put them over the middle as well. Okay, I'm gonna stretch them out in the middle as well. I chose to do a green and a red one just because it's kind of going with my color scheme. Colors don't matter unless, you know, you had a particular color scheme in mind. But basically that's what you're going to do, okay? And that is making the top. Alright, and the middle. Now, for the next part, you're going to get your twine. Now your twine is going to pretty much be used kind of like design, okay? So what you're going to do with your twine is you're going to kind of loop it around your rubber band, and you're going to kind of go in a zigzag pattern. Now this first loop, I'm going to basically put it around the rubber band. I'm going to tie it just because I want it to be a little bit solid. I don't think I'm going to tie it in a whole knot. I'm just going to kind of tie it so that it just kind of stays around there. Let's see. Twine. I'm going to tie it like right there. Just kind of so it stays in place. Now I'm going to get a nice amount of my twine out. Probably more than I think I'm going to need, because you can always cut it later. You don't want to leave it on the ball, because if you leave it on the ball, you're not going to be able to pass it through or weave it through your rubber band so easily. So try to get about, you know, more than you think you're going to need, but you can always add later if you need to. You can always tie it off and add a little bit later. What I want to do with this is I'm going to go zigzag, and it's going to require a little bit of doing. I'm using my red rubber band just because it's pretty much kind of like the largest one or the thickest one, the heaviest one. Now I want to pull all of that through. There's a better way to do this, and I'm going to show you after I pull it all the way through, just to get it started. Okay, so even though you didn't want to work with that big old ball going through your thing, you still can take this and kind of line it up so that it's all in a single kind of place. And this is not tight around my finger. I gotta have it loose enough that it can be pulled off my finger. And I'm gonna tie it, I'm gonna wrap it around in a little ball. That's gonna make it easier for me to pass it through. Okay, slip it off my finger. And now, I'll put that back on. And kind of pass it around the rubber band a little bit easier. So you see that? I'm gonna loop it down there. Pull my rubber band up. Put my twine through. just gonna tie it around there again. Trying to get it so it kind of ties around that knot as well. I'm gonna pull my rubber band up so that it pulls the things a little tighter. Now I have my tightening bands all around. Okay, I'm gonna put my other rubber band back on that fell off. Attempt to hold it a little bit better. Okay. Now for the rest of it, I've got some golden trinkets and some twine, some other things to try to help decorate it. I have these little golden beads, and I believe that you guys have some cowrie shells or something of that nature. So I'm going to just kind of wrap some twine around mine, around the top, just to I want to cover up the rubber bands pretty much. You don't have to. I just feel like I want to. So I'm going to use some hot glue and some twine. I'm going to put the hot glue down. And just kind of put some twine on top of it. And I'm just gonna wrap some twine around there just to kind of hold it down. Put a little bit more hot glue on the other side. To kind of hold it. Wrap this twine around there. Now I could take some of these beads and add them over here. I'm using gold beads because I know that there was an abundance of gold in the region that we've been studying and the regions that we've been studying. So I'm thinking, as a matter of fact, I know they probably would have decorated some of their most prestigious works with gold. Might not have made one out of solid gold or anything, but I know that it would have probably put a few gold pieces on there. Now, you can thread it into the twine if you want to, or you can take your hot glue gun and just kind of stick it down wherever you want gold pieces. It's kind of up to you. It's kind of the look that you're going for, whatever look that you're going for there. Okay? I'm going to do a little bit of both. After it's all said and done, you will have a djembe drum. Okay, you see, not for real playing, but good decoration. Okay, now like I said, you don't have to decorate this any kind of way you want to. It's kind of up to how you want to decorate it. Don't go by what I'm doing. Okay, you can paint it more, you can paint it in different colors, you can paint the ropes, you can do whatever you set your mind to as far as decorations is concerned. So it's you're only limited by your imagination. Now I hope you learned a little something, and now you have your djembe drum. Okay, alright, that is it for me. I will see you guys the next time on the next lesson, and hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed. Okay. All right.